Assalamu alaikum everyone. We are going to be doing some product research together. Okay, so normally I've got my face to camera situation, but today we're not doing that. Last week we dived into products and what to do, and I kind of just shared my screen, but like literally lifting up my laptop. So it wasn't the most effective way of doing it. So what I want you to do is go to this website. If you haven't done so already or been on this website, this is called AliExpress. Okay. So AliExpress is where we're going to be finding our suppliers. Okay. Thank you. I've got a one here. Yeah. Thank you to Adhana. Samir, you have confirmed. Okay. Now the ones are coming in. Thanks, Farhan. I think there's always a lag, so that's fine. All right. So good. I can see the ones coming in. Mehbooba's in the house. All right. So let's get started. So essentially, guys, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be focusing on product research. Okay. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be showing you how to find products that are going to make you a lot of money if you start selling them. Okay. Now, when it comes down to product research, there is certain criteria that I want to look for in terms of a product, whether it's going to be a viable product or not. Okay. And the first three criteria are: number one, it needs to grab your attention. Okay. It needs to be something that when you're scrolling on social media and you've got no intention to buy any product, it grabs your attention. You're like, wow, that's actually really nice. I would love that. Right, let me check it out a little bit more. So the fact that you're doing what we call guerrilla marketing, essentially, we're jumping in front of somebody and trying to grab their attention. Okay, the product needs to be attention grabbing. All right, so that's point number one. Okay, point number two is it needs to be a premium quality product. Okay, now on this website you'll probably find many products that are not very good, right? Some, unfortunately, like if we're sourcing some products from China, a lot of people have products that are just really bad quality. Yeah, like for example, if you look at these rings and stuff like that here, my guess would be that these rings would be pretty bad quality, very cheap, right? And we don't want to do that. We want to focus on premium, high end, high quality products. Okay, so products that when you look at them, you would say, you know what, this should be able to be sold for a premium price point. Okay, this is a premium looking product. All right, so that's what we want. We want to find premium products that when the person sees it, or even when they have it in their hands, they feel, wow, this is exactly a product that is a very high level product and that I'll be very happy to have. Right, so that's point number two. Okay, point number three is it should have a good margin. Okay, a good profit margin. So what we mean by profit margin is we need to ensure that when we're running advertisements, that we can buy a customer for a price that is still going to be profitable and scalable for us. Okay, so we can look to buy a customer for anywhere between £15 to £25, which is what we could maybe look at, and our, let's say, even dollars. Okay, and our margin should be at least $30 approximately, right? So that's and the bigger the margin, the better and the easier it's going to be. So for example, let's just say this watch as an example. If I were to just give it, let's say it's £25, I would aim to sell it around £60. Okay, so 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, that gives me about £40 margin for me to be able to buy a customer. Or these headphones here, £7.98, which is £8. If I were to try to sell these, I would try to sell them at around £40. So I've got a good margin there. Yeah, so walaikum salam, Sayyid. Okay, so that is my three core elements, which is: number one is it needs to be attention grabbing. Number two is it needs to be a premium product that the customer is going to love. And point number three is that it needs to be a product in which there is that I can add a strong enough margin of at least $30, right, which is around £25 or something, right? So that in that way I can look to buy a customer if it's a product that sells and it sells profitably. All right, let's start off with jewelry. Okay, so when I'm looking at jewelry, walaikum salam Anwar, when I'm looking at jewelry, I like to think about my own self. Okay, I'm thinking what would I wear? What you need to have a think about who your avatar is. Okay, who is your personal avatar, right? And if, for example, let's say I wanted to sell jewelry for goth women, right, or gothic, or punks or something like that, right, I would really struggle to really maybe connect with that audience because I'm not really a part of that audience. So I like to start off, walaikum salam Zainab, I like to start off with myself to think, okay, you know what would I like? What kind of jewelry do I wear, right? Now I wear a watch, all right? So let's jump into watches. Okay? And the more specific you go, the better, right? So let's jump into watches for men. Okay? So what I would do in this case is I would start browsing all these products, okay, going down the list, and I will start looking at what really grabs my attention. Okay, so what is it that really just kind of grabs my attention, and makes me think, wow, that looks good, right? And a little bit different, right? And I'm going to try to teach you out of the mix, my type of thinking here. Yeah, so let me give you an example of this product here for a second. Okay. So in terms of this product, this is a product I will never do. Not necessarily I never do, okay, but number one, it's a bit simple. Okay, it's like, okay, it looks pretty okay, but there's nothing attention grabbing that makes me think, wow, that's really unique, that's really different, I want this, right? Number two is, if I use this as a social media advertisement, it's just black, so it doesn't grab your attention. Okay, whereas if I open up this one for a second, just as an example, can you see the blue in there? The blue really grabs your attention. And when you're running Facebook advertisements, you need a image that pops out. Okay, so that's why, it's a standard product. It's not grabbing my attention. Okay, so point number one, is it attention grabbing? The answer is no. Number two, is it high perceived value, right? It kind of looks expensive, but it just doesn't look premium for me. Yeah, it doesn't make me feel like, oh, this is a luxury watch. So it doesn't do that either, right? And number three, is there a profit margin? You probably could. If you look here, £3 ships for about 81 pence. So you're looking at a £4. And you could sell this at $29.99 with a margin, with shipping, right? So it probably does have a margin there, but the fact that it's so cheap just tells me that this is not a premium quality product. Okay, so I would kind of avoid it, right? So and with watches, a lot of them generally are attention grabbing. Okay, so this looks pretty good. Okay, now here's another thing. Yeah, so can you see here? It says 1,961 sold. Okay, so the fact that it's had so many sold, that means it's pretty saturated of a product. Okay, so this one, I would say it's attention grabbing. It looks premium. I could probably sell it at about £50 or whatever. It's not completely unique, but it could still do fairly well. But the fact that it's got so many orders, for me, is like other people have tried it. Okay, so I would not really go down too much, and ideally I want products that are kind of within 0 to 1,000, or even under 500. Ideally under 500 would be a good space for me to kind of look at, right? And in that way, it's like, okay, you know what, the saturation's not there. Yeah, this one kind of pops out a little bit in terms of the imagery. It's not like completely amazing, Okay, so this one's very interesting in terms of it's got a dial, but it looks a bit like square, which is a kind of unique thing. But again, the orders are pretty high, right? So what I want to do is I'm just gonna and what I do is I'll literally spend a long time just scrolling and scrolling. Okay, I'm just making sure everything is still there until there's something that really makes me think, oh, this is nice. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. All right, this watch here, it's kind of attention grabbing. The orders are less. It looks premium. It's I can easily put a margin, but at the same time, it's not really blowing me away. Okay, it's not really making me think, wow, this is a product that I would really want. Okay, this one looks pretty interesting here. Okay, so it's like there's a unique factor about this one, which is that it's like a circular watch, but it's digital at the same time. Okay, so it's kind of digital while being circular. So this is a bit more attention grabbing. It's got a kind of unique factor to it as well. So it's not like, for example, this one here where it's got a dial, this one has 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 a dial. So all the products here in this line are circle, but this one has a unique factor that it's a digital version of these round dials, right? So that for me is pretty unique. Okay, now what I can see is a nice video. They've already made a really cool video. So what I would actually do is I would maybe download this video and I would go on like Fiverr or Upwork or even myself, and I can literally get an advert made that is designed for Facebook, showcasing this product in my own way. So you can literally download this video and make your own advertisement from it, right? Orders are less. Product is around £24, so plus shipping. So I would probably sell this at like $59.99. And it's something that you can test out there. Yeah. Let's see. There's so many watches. Okay, so when men's watches is very broad. Okay, what you would want to do, and this is another strategy here that I'm gonna just reveal to you right now. Right, really powerful way of finding really good gems. Okay, that no one else can find. Just put in the comment section yes if you can still hear me fine and you can still see my screen, and if you're still engaged here, right? So the trick here is, while I wait for your yeses, is that you want to find products that other people can't find. Okay, because this whole time I've been browsing the front page or the first few pages of AliExpress. Okay, and there's probably hundreds if not thousands of people that will be doing the same type of research. Okay, so the way you're going to be differentiating yourself away from everyone else is by diving into other areas that other people won't dive into. So there's two kind of ways of doing that, right? So number one is if it shows up, often when you scroll down, you will find this section here, which is seller recommendations. Okay, so in this section, can you see 12 sold, 4 sold, 42 sold? So there is newer products here that are not necessarily in the other in the first pages. You uncover some new hidden gems here that don't show up straight away on AliExpress when you're searching, right? And then there's another trick here which is even better, is you start browsing this I like this product, this one grabbed my attention. I'm going to look at that in a minute. So this when you go here, you got products, new arrivals, smartwatches, other, view all products, top selling, right? So you can actually look at this store and you can see, okay, these are the top selling products. Okay, so this is the one that kind of grabbed my attention here for a minute, right? And when I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's pretty new, that's pretty different, let me have a look at that. So let's just have a quick look, right? So the reason why this kind of grabbed my attention is that the design of the screen is like rectangle. I've never seen that before. Okay, so that was a unique factor. It's more on the expensive side, So £63, and can you sell this for like 150 or 120 is what I would look at. But it's something that could potentially work. But at the same time, that screen might not be for everyone, right? But I'll just have a look. Okay, you know what? This one here looks pretty interesting, and so on and so forth. And I'll look at new arrivals, right? So these are the new products that they're just releasing, okay? And you can see what else this company is doing. So I would start analyzing, okay, this product looks good, and then I'll start diving into what other products is that company selling. All right. Now let me show you some products, some winning profitable products in terms of areas of watches that I've sold in the past, right? So this is a product that was done very, very well for us. Okay. So if you can see my screen, all right. So this is a watch that is designed in a way that looks like the alloy of a sports car. Okay. So the alloys is the wheels. Yeah. So in terms of attention grabbing, so can you see you've got the wheel, you've got the brakes and so forth, right? So number one, you've got has it got a wow factor? Yes, it does. Yeah, like because it grabs attention. Wow, that's really different. I like cars, and I would love to have a car watch because that's my passion, right? You can, and it's got an easy targeting angle, right? Which is car lovers or sports cars or drag racing, that sort of stuff. Number two, is it high perceived value? It looks like a very expensive product, right? I think, and number three, is there a margin there? Yeah, I'm pretty sure the most I sold this for was like $99, or I can't even remember, $60 to $99, right? This one here is selling at £11, so you can see, yeah. This one here that's just showing up, I sold a bunch of this one as well, just because it kind of looked different. It had a kind of unique futuristic look, and it kind of grabbed attention. It did okay, that one, but that's another one. Let me see. There was another one that I was doing when I was testing watches last. I was doing testing and launched a bunch of products, and what the testing showed me, for some reason, people that had really black looking watches, they were very attracted to. Okay, so they were for some reason attracted to very black looking watches like this. Okay, they had in fact, I probably sold a bunch of these. I'm just trying to, let me have a look. Okay, so can you see these wood watches? Yeah, I've sold a bunch of those as well. I'll get into that. I'm just trying to see if I can find the black watches that did really well. Okay, so this was we sold a bunch of these. This one grabbed my attention now. I think this would do pretty decent potentially, because it's got the design of a famous expensive watch, and just the fact that it's on a white and a black really grabs attention here for me. Yeah, it grabs attention. It looks very premium, and I think I could sell this for, like, let's say it's 15. What would be the cheapest I would sell this for? 15, 25, 35 plus shipping. $39.99 would probably be the cheapest I would go for this, but it looks like a decent, nice quality watch. I think the customer will be very happy. There's very low orders, and you've got a few different variations, so that, I would maybe try to sell this one, or potentially if there's variations or whatever, right? So, and then again, do the same thing. Go back into this store and see what other products they're selling. Okay, this one looks cool. This one looks cool. Okay, check this one out. This one's pretty interesting. So I literally would just sit there spending 5 hours just coming up and getting the link and putting it in an Excel sheet and then going back into it later to just double check if I like it or not, right? Okay, wood. Let's go for wood watches. Okay, sold a bunch of these as well. Okay, so the wood watch that did well for me. Let me see if I can find it here. It was kind of similar to what I've just opened up. So like this. So it had its wood effect, but it had a very glowing light. I think I've sold a bunch of these ones. Yeah, something like this. I've sold this one a lot. I think the fact that it was a wood watch and then the blue color was very eye compelling. It was very attractive, so people really like that. So if you find new versions of this, right, you could probably test that now and make sales. Like this one here looks good, potentially. All right, here's a product for you. I've never even tested this one. There's 2 variations, which is even better. Looks very premium. You've got it for 42 pounds. So I would sell this at like let's say it's about $50. I'll probably sell it around $100 plus shipping. Bobo Bird's pretty cool. Let's look at their new arrivals. Okay, so is there anything that really grabs my attention? This one I think is a potential. It's new. It's only got 16 orders, so no one's really done it. This one I think this one's cool. It's a new one. I think it would do well. This one here, let's have a look. This one I like. I have a feeling this would do well. Sell it around $80. You've got variations, and variations are good because people often buy more than one. This one again is pretty attractive. I don't know if this is the same as the other one. This one is pretty cool. I'm pretty sure I tested this already, but it's got the this circle here, which is called a tourbillon. A tourbillon watch, and obviously this is not a real tourbillon, but anyone tourbillon watch. Let me just show you what a tourbillon watch is. A tourbillon watch is a watch that sells for £100,000 or $1 million. They're extremely expensive. This one here is 2 million, 1 million, and it's just the fact that it's got this circle in there. Right? How can you spend so much on it? Anyway, let's not go into that conversation. Right. Okay. So I think we've done with jewelry. The first question was about jewelry. Let's go into something else. Okay. So you've got electronics, household products, rich lotion and moisturizer cream for dry skin. So I wouldn't go down the routes of like skincare products, just because like what if they like give somebody lots of spots or something, right? You don't want to get them in a position where they have problems and then it affects you. All right, so let me show you some kitchen products that I've sold. Actually, kitchen's a good one. Kitchen is a good one. Let me show you some good products that I've sold in kitchen. All right, so I sold, hold on, let me show you cutting board. I've got these knives. I sold this product. Let me find it. So cutting boards are generally pretty cool in the sense that they're quite expensive products as well. There was a cutting board that, yeah, it looked like this. Why can I not find it? So it was a cutting board that was looking like it was 2 pieces, and it was kind of shaped in a way that it looked like when you put them together that there were 2 people hugging each other or something, right? And when Valentine's Day came or something like that, what we would do is we would create a a kind of like a romantic feel to the cutting boards, like as a gift. Like, and we'd like add hearts and stuff like that on the images. Let me just see. Cutting board romantic. Is that even a thing? Yeah, I can't find it. Right, if I put cutting board to piece, have I even written that right? Yeah, let me see. All right, let me. You know what? If I go to Google, it's going to show me watches again and nonsense. Okay, so let me see if it comes up here because I want to show you the cutting board. I'm sure somebody's selling it. So I would generally look at unique cutting boards. Let me just see. This is bugging me now. It was similar to this. There you go. It was similar to this. So can you see it looks like two people finally found it because that was getting annoying. So it was kind of like this, yeah? It was like a very premium quality thing. And look, they used the same romantic type of feel to it, which is Romeo and Juliet cutting boards. It looks like two people hugging. So it was like a very nice gift for a couple, right? Especially like during a time that they may want to sell it. Like even now, it'd probably be good, yeah. So point being is that like, did this product and my version was like, look, like these images are rubbish, yeah. It just looks like really like poor images. My images were like really good ones. So there you go. So you got some examples, yeah. So number one, is it attention grabbing? Yes. Okay. Number two, is it high perceived value? Yeah. Like even this board that I just showed you is like selling for 120 quid. Yeah. I think that's how much we were selling them as well. And number three, is it high perceived value? Well, that's point number two. It's high perceived value. Number three, is it big enough margin? I think we were selling it for like, we were sourcing it for about £60 and selling it for like 120 or something, right? So that's an example of why is it showing me watches? I don't want to see watches anymore. All right. Let me show you some more products talking about the kitchen. Cups. Okay. All right. So I've sold a lot of these type of cups. Let me just show you some of the cups that I've sold. Right, so these type of stuff is pretty nice. Like you can see, it's a nice set. You've got different colors. You can, so it's pretty attention grabbing. It looks very premium. You'll have to sell it in a pack. So this sort of stuff as well. I've sold a lot of these. So you've got that. You can sell it as a pack. Okay, very attention grabbing. Again, let's have a look at what other products this company sells. And I would start diving into this and start looking at what else have they got that really grabs attention. And sometimes like it's good to just put in a random keyword that might trigger different products that no one else can find. Like, because I just read cups, many people are going to see this. What about like Viking cups? Okay, look at this. There's a niche for this. Yeah, you've got Viking mugs here. Yeah. People that are into the niche of Vikings, they would want one of these, yeah, something like this. So again, I added one word and I created a completely new set of products. Yeah, in fact, going back to jewelry, Viking bracelet, like I sold so many of these Viking stuff. Let me show you. right? These type of bracelets, right? As like this one here, like this, it's like a bracelet, but it looks like a dragon. Yeah, like for some reason they just sold like hotcakes, like crazy. All right, so if I were to sell more products like that, I would go in and find new versions of that and see what is there. Yeah, so you've got mugs. Let me search plates. Plates sell pretty good as well, like really premium looking plates. I've sold these. So if you look at this, it's very oceany, it's very coral, very premium looking. So, you know, you can sell different sizes, different sets, different versions, but it looks very nice quality images. So it done very, very well. Teapots. Let me have a look at teapots. There was a unique style of teapot that I sold a lot of. This is pretty interesting. Teapots. What was the keyword that I'm looking for? What is it like? Meditation? Not meditation. Who are the people that do meditation? What do you call them? Ceramic candle. Monks. Do they call them monks? No. Somebody said Romeo and Juliet cutting board. Thanks. Thank you. Can we resell them on eBay? And what about delivery time? I'll get to that point as well. You got bathroom products, lighting. Okay. So point being is, okay, so you want to find something, kung fu type. Okay. Kung fu pots. All right, there was one that was selling really well for me. If I can, it was similar to this with a weird handle, but it wasn't red. It's this one. This one's pretty cool as well. So this one here, for some reason, this used to sell really well for me. People just liked it. Maybe it was just a little bit different. You know, so it's just like the things that you want to sell should have a little bit of a unique factor to it. Like kind of just like, oh, okay, that's weird. That's different. I like that. I would want one of that. Actually, do you know what? I can buy that right now. Why not? All right. So yeah, so these are just some examples of products. So let's go into Facebook. All right. So essentially, we've gone into jewelry. We've dived into there a little bit. We've dived into kitchenware. We've dived into that aspect as well. So the point being is that, like, I think what I really want you to understand in terms of this session today is the main core aspect of what I'm doing, which is when I'm analyzing products, number one, I'm looking at products that really grab my attention. It's, you know, ideally has a little bit of a unique angle to it where when somebody sees that, they're like, oh, that's different. I like that. That's pretty cool, right? That's the kind of feel that I want. Number two is when I'm looking at the product and when I know that the customer is going to receive the product, it's a very high premium quality product that has that high perceived value to it, right? And if it has that high perceived value to it, then I'll be able to put a strong enough margin into it, right? Like, for example, like this product here just doesn't have a high perceived value, right? It just looks like a cheaper product. Do you see my point, right? So it should be a product that you know that if you was to sell it for between 40 to 100 pounds, that you know that the customer will have the idea that this is the value of the product. Okay, so this is what I mean by this is what I mean by high value, high perceived value. Number three, in terms of margin, it should have a margin in position. Okay, so you know you need to be able to buy products. Okay, you should be able to get yourself in a position where you can buy customers. using social media advertising. All right. So I'm going to jump into a few quick questions, but for anybody that's in a position where you're like, you know what, I'm ready to get started. I need to start selling actual products. I just need to get the site done. I need some support with the ads, all that sort of stuff. Just put in the comment section 2023. And then what I'll do is either myself or one of my team members will reach out to you, give you some extra training and get the ball rolling with actually helping you start launching some products. Okay. So just jumping into some quick questions. Lighting. Let's go into lighting for a minute. Okay. Can we resell them on eBay, and what about delivery time? So can you sell them on eBay? I think so. I don't know if drop shipping is allowed on eBay still. But again, it's not really it's not really a scalable thing, because you're just waiting on people to come to you to buy. Whereas if I start selling a product, and alhamdulillah, some of our students have started selling a product, and within the first month of launching, they're doing thousands of pounds, or dollars in revenue every single day, selling 20 to 100 units of products, right? So when you're profitably buying customers online, that is where you can scale it to really big numbers and a lot of money. Any products, like there's certain products I wouldn't suggest you sell, right? Like, for example, I found like this product here. Okay. Sorry if this is a bit too much for your eyes, but for example, I wouldn't sell that product. Okay. Because you can see what it is. Yeah. And if Facebook sees this product, and they can see what it is, then they will be like, no, do not sell anything that is 18 plus on our platform, right? Because it affects user experience. So things like anything that is a little bit 18 plus, I wouldn't sell. I wouldn't sell knives. I would avoid selling small children's products that have small things that they can swallow. So if I go to children toys, if there's like small pieces that they can, like for example this, I don't know if this is one or if it's got balls in it, but if it's got like roly balls or something, then it's like, you know what, am I going to risk a child swallowing something, right? So I would avoid that. Avoid any type of creams and supplements and stuff, because again, it could have a risk factor to it. So I wouldn't sell everything, but just have a think about, does it have any type of risk associated to that product? Okay. You have to understand that you need to take a lot of time. And I would say if the ideal amount of time, if you can, is scrape out 5 hours a day for the next 5 days. Okay. If you can scrape out 5 hours a day, that's 25 hours. All right. Wake up early, do some in the evening, all that sort of stuff. Okay. At the same time, if you can't do 5 hours, minimum do 1 hour a day. Okay. So that's between 5 hours to 25 hours, right? Select a few niches like, clothing, kitchen, lighting. There was somebody mentioned lighting or home decor. Home decor products do very well as well. Okay. Home decor type of products. You can find some really, really good, like people are really passionate about home decor. So if you get the right products, people will buy. Okay. Find unique angles. Like think about, for example, like what is a niche of something so broad like home decor, like Islamic home decor, for example, right? You can dive into Islamic home decor, and I've sold Islamic home decor, right? Like, you've got different things that come up here as well. Yeah. That you can target that specific audience. So you got to think outside of the box. You got to not just look at the first pages of AliExpress, because you're going to struggle to be successful because everyone else is doing them. You need to think of unique angles of niches like Vikings or Islamic decor or whatever it is, where you uncover products that no one else uncovers, and then you focus on products that have low sold amounts that meet the criteria of it being attention grabbing, for it being high perceived value, for it being able to be sold at a strong enough margin. If you come up with between 10 to 30 of those products through your research, you then start testing them. you will find a good amount of products that start performing very, very well. The vast majority won't. But let's say out of 30, you find 3 products that really start selling very, very well. And then you can focus on then growing and scaling them and making a lot of money. Okay. And worst case scenario, they don't sell as profitably as you want. You then realize, okay, out of these 30 products, these were the 3 that sold the best. So the next 30 products, let me do 10 of this, 10 of this, 10 of this. And that gives you an even better chance of finding really good, successful, profitable products. Okay. How much should you get started with? You can get started with a few £100, but you can, but ideally £1,000 to £3,000 is normally a good space to get started in terms of actual cost towards the actual business. Okay. So again, just to end off, if you want more help and support, all you need to do is just put in the comments 2023 and we'll reach out with you. We'll give you more training. We'll give you access to more information. And then from there, you can decide if you want to work with us to launch the business or not. So you can make that decision at that point, but just comment 2023 and then we'll be good to go from there. So thank you so much. I hope you found it beneficial. Can you just put in the comment section yes if you found this beneficial, and if you want me to do more screen recording type of sessions rather than face to camera type. Okay? If you find this beneficial as well, and you're sick of seeing my face, just put the comment section yes, and then I'll try to do more real interactive live over the shoulder business strategies. So Abdi doesn't like seeing my face, Farah doesn't like seeing my face, Khan doesn't like seeing my face, Mahnur definitely doesn't like seeing my face. Thank you, Zainab, much appreciated. Mariam doesn't like my face, Imran doesn't like my face. All right, good. My ego has been destroyed. All right, take care. Assalamu alaikum.